So we'll take up today Newton-Raphson load flow method. Okay, so here in this case Newton-Raphson NR method, the bus voltage either they are taken as V magnitude and delta as two variables, or otherwise are real part and imaginary part of the voltage. That is, the phasor is V magnitude at an angle delta, or it can be like this, right? So in Gauss-Seidel method, we have taken directly the complex voltage phasor, bus voltage as complex phasor, voltage phasor, right? So altogether we had in a system n buses. So one is slack defined and n minus 1 buses are there. So altogether we need to solve for VI's voltage phasors for I running from 1 to n and I is not equals to slack. That means I is actually n minus 1. These are n minus 1 equations, right? So these are n minus 1 equations to solve the n minus 1 bus voltages. That is the case in case of Gauss-Seidel method. Now here in Newton-Raphson method, the bus voltage is either defined by two variables now, voltage magnitude and as well as the phase angle. This is the, if I assume the bus voltages in this way, then it is called as polar form. And if I assume the bus voltage as real and imaginary like E and F, then it is called rectangular form. Okay, now today we will be discussing the polar form of Newton-Raphson method. Okay, where the bus voltage is assumed to be voltage magnitude at an angle delta. Okay, now we have the complex power at a bus, complex power injected into a bus SI, that is at a bus I, which is SI conjugate is equals to Pi minus JQI is equals to Vi conjugate into I. I is the summation J is equals to 1 to n Yij Vj. So to avoid taking conjugate here, I am using this notation SI conjugate, right? I am taking simply for conjugate for only one variable at Vi, right? I can also write Pi plus JQI, but where I need to take the conjugate here. Okay, so I'm to avoid that, I am taking Pi minus JQI, right? This is the complex voltage equation, complex power equation at a bus, right? Now I just substitute Vi, this phasor is equals to Vi magnitude at an angle delta i's, and the admittances, bus admittances Yij's is equals to Yij magnitude and theta ij's. So if I substitute these in this equation, I will be having Pi minus JQI is equals to Vi conjugate, that is Vi magnitude at an angle minus delta I, taking conjugate, multiplied by summation J is equals to 1 to n Yij magnitude at an angle theta ij into Vj magnitude at an angle delta j. So if I multiply these two, so I will be getting I will be getting summation j is equals to 1 to n. This is vi vj yij magnitude. I am multiplying all this term, and this term, right? At an angle theta ij, this angle plus delta j minus delta I, right? So this is pi minus jqi. Now if I want to write down separate equations for pi and qi, then I can write down pi is equals to the cos term, the cos of this angle, that is summation j is equals to 1 to n vi vj yij cos of this angle theta ij plus delta j minus delta I is the real part, and imaginary part is, now I write down here qi, but there is a minus sign here, so I take minus of here, that is summation j is equals to 1 to n vi vj yij sin theta ij plus delta j minus delta I, right? So these are the two equations called as active power balance equation and reactive power balance equation. Active power balance equation and reactive power balance equation. Okay, so this is at only ith node. So likewise, if I write down this I is varying from 1 to n and I is not equals to slack, then I will be having two equations at each node generally. Okay, so two equations at each node I have to verify. I have to make these power balance equations at each node. So that means 2 into n minus 1. So those many equations I have to write down. I have 2 into n minus 1 equations I can write down, right? Now, but how many variables I need to find out? Let us see how many variables are there I need to find out. Now, as I said, system is having both generator buses and load buses, right? So this is slack, this is generator bus, and these are the load buses, right? I can write down in tabular column also. At slack we have V magnitude and delta known quantities, and unknown quantities we need to find out P and Q. And at P and at the generator bus, we have P and V magnitude known, so Q and delta to be found. And at load buses, P and Q are specified and V magnitude and delta are to be found, right? Now how many variables are there? How many variables are there in case of to be found here? So delta, yeah. So in case of voltages, because we bus voltage, I am trying to find out V and delta at all buses, right? Now V and delta, these two quantities are not known at how many buses? That is, delta is not known at all the generator buses as well as all the load buses. That means delta to be found both at generator buses and load buses, right? Our system variables are actually V and delta, right? So if I have n buses, so n into these two, so 2n variable, but one is defined as slack, so 2n minus 2 or n minus 1 into n minus 1 into 2 are the total variables I have to find. But actually there are some voltage quantities are defined, so voltage magnitudes are defined at generator buses. So ultimately they are reducing from 2n minus 2, they are reducing. How many unknowns are there? So that is n minus 1 deltas are to be found, and voltages, how many voltages are to be found at all load buses, right? But voltage magnitudes at all generator buses are already known, this is known, but this has to be found, right? So voltages, if I can say that 1 m and n, this is slack, m is PV buses and n is PQ buses, okay, and all the 1 plus m plus n is equals to total number of buses. If I define the system like this, then n number of voltage magnitudes I have to find out. So how many altogether unknown variables are there? That is n minus 1 plus small n. So these many unknown variables are to be found still, right? But how many voltage variables are already defined here? At generator buses, all generator buses voltages are given, so that is m number of voltages are already defined, m number of voltages are already defined. If I add these two here, that is n plus n small n plus m minus 1 minus 1, is that correct? Yeah. How can I? Yeah. What is n? N is equals to 1 plus m plus n. If I write down here 1 plus m plus n plus m minus 1. So this minus 1 goes. So 2 times of m plus n variables. Okay. So adding this one and this one, I have 2 into m plus 1 variables, because these two are already defined. So 2 times of n is the total variable, system variables, out of which already 2 are defined, this voltage and this angle. So I have with 2 into n minus 1 voltages variables to be found, right? That means so 2 into 1 plus m plus n minus 1, so this one cancels, that is 2 into m plus n variables to be found. So this and this are same. Okay, but however out of these 2 into m plus n variables, these many number of voltages are already specified. That means from this 2 into m plus n, I have to subtract m number of voltages. So which is 2m plus 2n minus m, or otherwise 2n plus m variables. variables are to be determined, okay. So in case of Newton-Raphson polar form, now these many variables are unknown and we have to determine. Now how many buses P's are specified at both generator buses as well as load buses. So specified quantities, m number of generator buses plus n number of load buses. So at these many number of buses I have P specified. So I can write down m plus n number of these equations, right? This is power balance equation, right? Now I can write down m plus n active power balance equation, m plus n P specified or power balance, active power balance equations. I can write down because it is specified, P is specified. I can compare the specified quantity with the calculated quantity and I can check the difference. Okay. Now similarly Q is also specified because I can write down the power balance equations for active and reactive power balance equations at the buses. For those buses only where active power and reactive powers are specified, I can compare the specified quantity with the calculated quantity and say that this is converging or not converging, right? So that is why, so the possibility of writing the power balance equation depends upon the P and Q specified quantities. So P is specified at both generator buses and load buses. That means m number of generator buses and n number of load buses, that is n plus m plus n active power balance equations can be written. Similarly n number of load buses, I can write Q power balance equation, which means that, so altogether I can write down m plus n plus n, that is 2n plus m number of equations can be written, right, from the specified quantities P and Q. From the specified quantities P and Q, I can write down 2n plus m number of equations. And what are the unknowns to be found? Similarly, there are also 2n plus m number of unknown equations. So that means 2n plus m equations and 2n plus m unknowns are to be determined. So this Newton-Raphson polar form now can be solved for a unique solution. So because we have same number of equations and same number of unknowns, then we have a unique solution, right? So there is a possibility if I have more number of equations are larger than the variables, then there may be no solution. Or equations are less compared to variables, then there may be many solutions, right? So to avoid this sort of thing, I am checking whether the equations and number of variables are to be determined are equally satisfied or not, so that I can have a unique final solution, right? So this is about the number of equations I can write down from the specified variables, and from the system variables V and delta, out of specified the remaining are, these are the unknown voltages and angles to be found, and they come out to be 2n plus m variables. Okay, now So this is all about the system variables, unknown quantities and number of equations. Now I will just go to the idea about the Newton-Raphson method, the solution methodology about the Newton-Raphson method. Yeah, so it is, so we can say that though it is a non-linear, those equations are non-linear in nature, they are non-linear in nature, but what we can do is we can treat them as a linear if I section them like this. So between these they are assumed to be linear, right? So we can say that the equations can be linearized about a operating point and can be repeatedly iteratively solved. Linearize and solve iteratively. Okay, so how it is done? If I say that y1 is equals to f1 as a function of x1 to xn, and similarly up to yn is equals to fn as a function of x1 to xn, right? So these are the independent variables, control variables, and these are the dependent variables, right? If in general, if I can write down like this equation, and in short I can write in matrix form y is equals to some function of x, right? Now if I linearize by Taylor's expansion about an operating point x naught, then I can say this y star is equals to y naught plus dou y by or dou f by dou x at x is equals to x naught multiplied by delta x. I am taking the initial value plus first derivative of the function plus second derivative, dou square f by dou x at x is equals to again x naught multiplied by delta x and so on, the third order functions like that. Okay, so if I neglect the second and higher order terms, right, now I can write down, if I bring out this term to here, so it means this is a delta y, initial value minus the final value is delta y is equals to, that is dou f by dou x evaluated at x equals to x naught multiplied by delta x, right? So it is simply in the form of delta y matrix is equals to the sensitivity matrix, that is Jacobian matrix multiplied by delta x, right? So these are the unknown vector and these are the mismatch vector. This is unknown vector or correction vector, and this is Jacobian matrix. The sensitivity is between the x and y, the partial derivatives. Okay, or otherwise I can write down delta y1 to delta yn is equals to delta x1 to delta xn. This is dou f1 by dou x1 to dou f1 by dou xn. Similarly, dou fn by dou x1 to dou fn by dou xn. So these are the simple partial derivatives of the function, this function. Okay, taking partial derivative with respect to this is small f1, not capital F1, this is small f1. Now f1 to fn taking with respect to x1 to xn, y1 to yn. Okay, right? So this is simple algorithm. We need to now the same logic has to be implemented to our load flow studies. Okay, so our basic equations, the mismatch equation. Okay, our basic equations, the mismatch voltage equations, I'll just copy them. Okay, so this is yeah, I have to write down, yeah. The pi minus, now this pi is the specified quantity minus now I am telling about the mismatch, power mismatch, that is now this quantity pi is the specified quantity and this is the real part of this one is the calculated quantity. So I am writing here summation j is equals to 1 to n vi vj yij cos of theta ij plus delta j minus delta I as the calculated quantity, right? Now this is the mismatch vector and we are expecting this mismatch vector to go to or approach to 0. So when these mismatches, similarly delta q is equals to qi specified minus summation j is equals to 1 to n vi vj yij sin theta ij plus delta j minus delta I, and these equation should also approach to 0. These mismatches should approach to 0. Then we say that particular voltages give me the power balance equation exactly matching. The specified quantity is matching with the calculated quantity and the difference will give me a 0 value. Okay, so this is power balance equation, right? Now this delta y is a sum of delta p's and delta q's, and these delta p's are evaluated at all buses except slack. That means all generator buses plus all load buses. Is it right? So P is specified for both generator buses as well as load buses. That is why I am evaluating this mismatch power balance at all buses except slack. That is I is equals to 1 to n and I is not equals to slack in this case, right? And in case of reactive power mismatches only are at all load buses only. Now this is I belongs to n. Here actually I belongs to m plus n. Now here I belongs to only n, right? Now altogether the number of rows, number of equations are equals to m plus n plus n. So that is 2n plus m. So number of equations. Okay, mismatch equations. Now similarly, the correction vector delta x is actually the number of unknown variables delta and delta v's. Now here delta, that is deltas are not known at all buses except slack. Similarly, yes, delta is not known at either voltage buses or also the load buses, right? So except slack, that means same, all generator buses plus all load buses, right? That means I belongs to m plus n, or I is running from 1 to n, I is not equals to slack, same. And voltages are specified at generator buses, but voltages to be determined at load buses, so that is at all load buses. Now this is magnitude, this is voltage magnitude, load buses only, so that is I is belonging to n. Now similarly, these are also, the number of variables are also, if you add up, it will is 2n plus m variables, 2n plus m variables. So both are matching. So I can write down, in general, a load flow Newton-Raphson load flow method as delta p's and delta q's is equals to the Jacobian matrix multiplied by delta and delta v's, right? And what about this Jacobian matrix? Now this is dou p by dou delta, right? The partial derivative of p with respect to delta and partial derivative of p with respect to v. So this term into this is delta p, and similarly dou q by dou delta, dou q by dou v, and these are all submatrices. That is, if I write down dou p by dou delta submatrix, right? So p is actually running from all buses except slack. So that means I can write down this as dou p1 by dou delta 1 to dou p1 by dou delta n. Now similarly, this is dou p n minus 1 అనుకుందాం, n minus 1 by dou delta 1 to dou p n minus 1 by dou delta n. Now this is the one submatrix, this particular submatrix, right? So because I am having number of p's here, delta p1, delta p2 up to delta pn, n minus 1 actually. So number of equations are n minus 1 equations, right? So n minus delta p's, and here also deltas are also same, n minus 1 deltas. So that means I have, this is n by n minus 1 by n minus 1 matrix, or in other way m plus n by m plus n, load buses plus generator buses by load buses by generator buses by load buses, the size of this first matrix J1, right? Okay. So this is J1. So this is running to m plus n, and this is running to m, what is m అని ఇచ్చాను, n అని ఇచ్చాను కదా, mn 1 plus m plus n generator buses, load buses. So this is at n. So now this columns here running, these columns, number of columns it is running is m plus n. So this number of columns multiplied by number of rows, right? So that is, this is m plus n, and this is m plus n. Now similarly, what is second submatrix J2? This is J2 is dou p by dou v magnitudes. Okay, so that is dou p1 by dou v1 to dou p1 by dou v, let me write small n, small n. ఇక్కడ కూడా నేను డెల్టా 1 టు డెల్టా స్మాల్ m ప్లస్ n రాసేస్తాను. ఇక్కడ డెల్టా ఇక్కడ దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో m ప్లస్ n, and this is delta 1 to delta m plus n అని రాస్తాను. Okay, now here p's, number of p's, this is running from m plus n, right? No, yeah, this is p m plus n by v1 to p m plus n by p n. Okay, so what is this size? So this vector number of columns here is equals to number of rows. So this is equals to this. So this is number of columns here is n columns and n v's. And what is number of rows here? Rows is m plus n. This rows, right? So it is, now this is I can say m plus n rows multiplied by n columns. The size of this second J2 matrix dou p by dou v is having a dimension of m plus n by n matrix, and it is partial derivation of p with respect to voltages, right? Number of voltages unknown are at PQ buses, and the number of p's known are at m plus n, both generator buses and load buses, right? Now similarly, the partial derivative dou q by dou delta, third J3 dou q by dou delta. So this is dou q1 by dou delta 1 to dou q1 by, number of deltas are m plus n, number of deltas unknown are m plus n, and the number of q's are n 1 to n, that is n number of load buses. So this is delta 1 to delta m plus n, delta m plus n. So the rows are this is n, number of rows, number of q is specified only for q1 to n rows, and columns are m plus n. columns are m plus n. That is n by m plus n. This is opposite to this one. Opposite to this one. And finally, the last submatrix J4 is delta q by dou q by dou v. So this is dou q by dou v1 to dou q1 by dou number of v's are only n, that is v n, and number of q's are also only n, that is delta dou qn by dou v1 to dou qn by dou vn. So this matrix is simply n by n. Now you got this, the sizes of these four matrices. First one is m plus n by m plus n. Second one is m plus n by n, and third one is n by m plus n, and fourth one is n by n. Okay, so this is J1, J2, J3 and J4. So all are submatrices, and each submatrices again have their own diagonal and off diagonal elements, right? Their own diagonal elements and off diagonal elements. Each submatrix will have their own diagonal elements and off diagonal elements. Okay, we have to derive the equations for these elements.